Let's talk about email. If you think email marketing is still just about blasting out a weekly newsletter, well, you might be living in the past. Because as we rocket towards 2026, the entire game has changed. I'm talking privacy, AI, smarter customers. The old rules, they just don't apply anymore. So let's dive into the new playbook for absolutely winning with email.
So let me just ask you this straight up. Is your email strategy built for the world we live in today, or is it kind of a relic? If you're still laser focused on just growing your list size and blasting out offers, you're probably working way harder, not smarter, and you could actually be hurting your brand's reputation in the long run. And this right here really captures the entire shift. On the left, you've got the old way, right? It's like a megaphone, just shouting messages into the void. It's a numbers game based on high volume and, honestly, pretty low trust. But then look at the right. That's the 2026 approach. It is all about high relevance. And that relevance is what creates high trust. You're not shouting at a crowd anymore. You're having what feels like a one-to-one conversation, but at scale. To get there, we're going to walk through a really clear roadmap. We'll kick things off with the absolute foundation, trust and deliverability. Then we'll build on that with a smart strategy. After that, we'll talk about the experience beyond the inbox. And finally, how to keep the whole thing running and getting better over time. First up, the foundation, trust and deliverability. You got to think about this like you're building a house. If you get this part wrong, if your foundation is shaky, everything else you build on top of it is just going to crumble. So this is where we have to start.
So, trust, it really all begins with respecting people's privacy. In a world where third-party cookies are disappearing, your own first-party data is pure gold. But here's the thing. You can't just take it. You have to earn it. And that means being super clear about the value you're giving in exchange for that data, being transparent about what you're doing, and building your whole system with privacy in mind right from the very beginning. Okay, now for the techie bit. Don't let these acronyms scare you. Seriously. Just think of things like SPF, DKIM, and DMARC as your email's official passport. That's all they are. They're authentication methods that prove to the big inbox providers, like Gmail, that you are who you say you are. Without this passport, you're not even getting past the security gate. Your emails are going straight to spam. End of story. And this isn't just some abstract theory. Check out this real-world example. There was a marketplace that was having a terrible time actually getting their emails into the inbox. So what did they do? They got their technical house in order. They started using separate sending domains and got really strict about enforcing that passport protocol, DMARC.
And the result of them getting that passport stamped and in order? A 60%. That's a huge number. A 60% drop in spam complaints. I mean, that's a massive improvement that proves, without a doubt, why getting this technical foundation right is totally non-negotiable. The ROI is immediate and powerful. Okay, so our foundation is poured and it's solid. Now let's move on to section 2, the strategy. This is where we build the really intelligent architecture on top of that foundation. This is where we go from just delivering emails to delivering the right email to the right person at exactly the right time. The key concept here, the big idea, is something called Lifecycle orchestration. Really, it's just the art of designing these automated email journeys that perfectly mirror a customer's actual relationship with your brand. It's the total opposite of a generic blast. It's more like a guided, helpful conversation. And here's what that looks like in the real world. You're not just talking to one big list anymore. You're talking to individuals who are all at different stages, right? Someone who just signed up needs a totally different message than a loyal, longtime customer, and that loyal customer needs a different message than someone who's maybe about to leave. Mapping this out is step 1 to achieving true relevance. And listen, personalization in 2026 has to go so far beyond just dropping a first name in the subject line. I mean, come on. We're talking about using real, meaningful data, what they just bought from you, what they were just looking at on your site. We're talking about using AI to predict what they might want to buy next. It's all about showing them that you're actually paying attention. Here's another amazing example for you. A direct-to-consumer retailer, they just decided to stop the weekly shouting match. They stopped the blasts. Instead, they built out those lifecycle journeys we just talked about and plugged in an AI engine to recommend products automatically. And the result? A 25% lift in revenue that came directly from email. That's the kind of business impact you see when you switch from a high-volume strategy to a high-relevance one. They're sending smarter emails, more personal emails, and it's translating directly to the bottom line. It just works. So, we have our foundation, we have our strategy. Now let's talk about the experience. Because in 2026, email doesn't live on an island by itself. It's a super critical piece of a much bigger customer journey, and it has to feel connected to everything else. Look, your customer is interacting with you everywhere, on SMS, through push notifications, maybe inside your app. The modern way to do this is to use email as the central hub that coordinates all of these other channels. This is how you avoid message fatigue. You know what I'm talking about, right? Getting the same promotion 3 different ways in 5 minutes. This approach respects how your customers actually want to hear from you, which, brings us right back to building that trust we talked about at the beginning. And let's be absolutely crystal clear on this one point. The inbox is a mobile experience. A huge chunk of your audience is reading your email on their phone while they're waiting in line for coffee. If your email isn't designed beautifully for that tiny screen, you've already lost. And making it accessible for everyone, with things like high contrast text and alt tags, that's not just the right thing to do, it actually improves the experience for all your users and expands your reach. It's a no-brainer. All right, finally, let's install the engine of our email house. This is all about measurement and testing. This is the plan that keeps the whole structure running, improving, and adapting over time, because a truly great email program is never really finished. So I'm going to ask you another question. Let's be honest with ourselves. Are you measuring what truly matters to the business? Or are you maybe getting a little caught up in metrics that, well, they feel good, but they don't actually tell you if your program is driving real results? This slide just lays it out so clearly. In that left column, you've got the vanity metrics, right? Things like open rates. Yeah, they feel good, but they don't pay the bills. But in the right column, those are the business outcome KPIs. That's the stuff your stakeholders actually care about. Things like revenue per recipient and customer lifetime value. The entire goal here is to shift your focus from the left column to the right. Okay, so where do you even start? I know this can feel like a lot, but this transformation doesn't have to happen overnight. Here are your first 3 crucial steps. First, just audit your program and see where you are right now. Then, lock down that technical foundation. Get your email passport in order. And finally, build those first, most essential automated journeys, your welcome and onboarding series. This is your starting line for building a winning email strategy for 2026 and beyond. So what's the first thing you're going to tackle?